get sprayed, I get sprayed, I get sprayed, I get sprayed, see, I get
Like I be
sprayed,
going
I
crazy,
get sprayed, I
like
get sprayed,
insane.
I get.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call halal Yahweh Bahashimni Hawashai, Bahashim Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Bahashimni Hawashai, Bahashim Recha HaKodash, Barakatham. It's the brother Kazah from Minival 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be, Watch Out for These Wicked Women. All right, and this lesson is going to come off the inspiration of this clip, that you just saw. Now, there was a little song, playing in the background, so I had to lower the volume, so that the lesson doesn't get, hit with a copyright claim, But as you saw in the clip, man, you saw, a woman, a Jake woman, throwing the ashes of her boyfriend's deceased mother into the river, all right, because she caught him cheating, which really a man cannot cheat. Okay. So she did that as a way of, getting back to him. It's a very evil, petty thing that a woman could do, and this really just trumps, this really, takes the cake as far as, the pettiness of, what women do, to get back at men, for practicing their God-given right, which is to have more than one woman. This really takes the cake. I don't heard about, we all know about, the pimp striking, you know what I'm saying? We know about, slashing tires, breaking windows, just, little things like that. But this is something that's, unforgivable, to throw, his mom's ashes into the river, man, and completely desecrating her corpse, which it turns out, she got arrested for it. Lil Willen, man, she gets judged, you know what I'm saying? Lil Willen, she gets, you know what I'm saying? But either way, man, that's why the lesson is titled as such, man. Watch out for these wicked women, because especially in these times, man, when all these demons are just intensifying here in Babylon, everything, every wicked thing is intensifying, and that Jezebel, that jealousy, that wicked ass spirit, that's, demons that's on these women, that enable them to do these things. They are, how do I put it to you? They are intensifying, and the crazy thing is, I saw in another clip, that this woman is actually getting support, from behalf of the females, man. There are women out there that support this conduct. Hey, even the woman that recorded her, it appears that she's her friend. She didn't try to stop her. She didn't try to, she just went and did that, as her partner in crime, if you will, as her accomplice, in a very, wicked thing, and if you play the audio, you know what I'm saying? It seems that, she's cursing out the mother's ashes. That's just how bugged out these women are, man. And this has come to you. This is coming as a sign of the times, man. This is just a testament of the signs of the times, man, and of how wicked and how low, this place is becoming. And that's why Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be taking out a lot of women in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. That's why a lot of these demonic, wicked-ass females are not going to make it. So, there's really no point in trying to seek a wife, trying to, go and get yourself attached to a woman here, man. When this is, the result of such attachments. She catches you cheating, your property might be at stake here, man. It's gonna be an inconvenience. She might slash your tires out. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to go and, get new set of tires, miss out on the job, whatever. You might get fired from your job because of something like that. But this right here, this completely takes the cake. And it just goes to show you that, these women are just waxing worse and worse, man. Now that being said, you do have, sincere women, that's repented and, they're in the truth. They doing what they got to do. Lord willing, they be saved if they be, sincere. But hey, man, the majority of these women out here, man, it's not looking too good for them, man. And, it's really more of a, also too exhortation, for the Akio, man. Be careful who you deal with, man. All right, because this right here, man, this right here takes the cake, man. We keep on hearing, about the occasional situations that happen. A woman catches a man cheating and, she cuts off his rod or, stabs him up, kills him, kills the kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a completely unnatural conduct, man. It's completely unnatural, for a woman to be acting out of jealousy. Completely unnatural, man. All right, but let's hit one of the foundational precepts concerning this. All right, so it says, he cheated, so I threw his mom's ashes in the river. Okay, so first thing that comes to mind is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 12. And it reads, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, and that's basically, this is an example of that. Okay, iniquity abounding, and then just the love of many waxing cold. Like, how could it be completely justifiable in a person's mind to take, the ashes of somebody's mom, and throw it in the river as a means of getting payback, man? It's just completely off, man. But it says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, because basically, we have to endure this kingdom, coming at each other's throats, basically. We have to endure the time of Jacob's trouble, man. And the love of many is waxing cold, man. All right, the love of many is waxing cold, man. You got murders going up through the roof, and that's another thing too. She was arrested, man. You know what I'm saying? She was arrested, and she, I guess she's serving her time or whatever. I mean, she's being charged. I don't know, what the situation, with her is. It's not really that significant, but that's one of the lighter outcomes of a situation like this. She could have easily, gotten, dealt with, if her boyfriend or her man who she did this to, was about that life or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or if that was like a straw that breaks and he just snaps on her and basically kills her, that could have been a very possible outcome for doing something like that. So this woman should count herself lucky, man. You know what I mean? And it's not to, support, being, acting, out that type of way, because us in this knowledge, man, we got the scriptures as the comforter, and the scripture says, avenge not yourselves, for vengeance is of the Lord. So, whatever falls upon you, man, you got to take it to the chin and just keep pushing, try to find a way out, try to maneuver around what you're going through, and ultimately, be geared towards doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, towards serving and doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If you're going through, certain situations where, it's basically applying pressure onto you, to where you're going to be put in a bad situation, to where you're going to act out and, the predicament's going to be worse. At the end of the day, we're spiritual, but this is, coming as an exhortation, to the Akim, man. Watch out for these women. Know who you deal with. You know what I'm saying? Give not your strength unto a woman. Whatever she could use as leverage over you. You know what I mean? Do not let her have access over that, man. Don't let her have access to anything valuable to you. And really that's wisdom. Considering, these women, act out on emotion. That's the wisdom. They're like children. They're like it's like dealing with a child. You don't want to put your child around something fragile that they might break on the impulse. No. You want to put them in the playpen, where they don't have access to anything fragile, and you could supervise them. You could check in on them from time to time. That's where you want to, put the child in, and it's crazy how we have to, through the Spirit, resort to the same attitude, with these women, man. The crazy thing is she's up in age. I believe she's in her 40s, man. So in her 40s to do something this crazy, goes to show that, majority of these women, they don't really grow up, man. They got that spoiled, daddy's little girl, forever daddy's little girl spirit, man. Always want to be spoiled. And if, something don't work out her way, they throw fits, get to acting up. You know what I'm saying? And now you have to deal with that, but such things were told to us in the scriptures, and that's why, the scriptures, man, that's why it's the comforter, and at the same time, it's the ultimate wisdom, because it tells us about everything, including dealing with these women here in Babylon, man. All right, so we're going to go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at verse 27, where it reads, "Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed." So if you're married, you know what I'm saying, and you come into this truth, don't do a crazy move and go get a divorce, and now you lost half of your substance, or you got to go through that in court. Not just keep dealing with the woman. You're just in the truth now. If you be of the elect, she might be saved through you. Continuing on, "Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife." So if you don't have a wife, don't seek a wife. Basically don't get attached unto a woman. You know what I'm saying? And even though sex is marriage, and that is what it is to have a wife, have a woman you deal with. The elders and apostles have brought out the fact that we're not in the ancient times, to be considering that the same to be doing the same practice, as the scripture says, all things are lawful, not all things are expedient. So if you deal with a chick, you meet a chick, you hit it off, you met her at the bar or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you hit it off, and you end up getting busy the same night or whatnot. That doesn't mean you're gonna go up to her with a head wrap and you know what I'm saying, talking about hey, you're my wife, you got to do everything I tell you to do, and you can't deal with no, you know what I'm saying? No, she will she will run to Esau on you, man. But at the end of the day, you can still deal with a woman. You can still deal with them for pleasure. Like Elder Apostle Gabar, he mentioned one time, a marriage is basically a covenant. It is an agreement. So if you with a woman and you both agree to pleasure each other, and that's that. That's just what it is, man. All right, we not in a position where we could deal with our women, the way we dealt with them in the kingdom. Because one, we're not in power, okay, and that's why these precepts came to be through the Spirit. All right, because this was written in a time when the apostles were on the scene, and after Yahushua, left, and you had the churches that was all over, Asia Minor. You had the churches that was in Rome. We were under the Roman occupation, and before that, it was the Greek occupation. So our people were Hellenized, our people were heathenized, man. Going after the way of the heathen. And with us not being in power, we could not dictate, what to do and how, things such as marriages were conducted. All right, because these heathens, all right, concerning, the number one enemy, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, he's very liberal. Okay, he's very liberal, always giving the right to the woman, man. And that's what we see here in the society. That's why, if you get married, man, you know what I'm saying? Every time I hear about a man, getting married under that Edomite, covenant, which is, going, putting a ring on a woman's finger and, going into matrimony and this devil being a part of it by way of the court systems and everything. Because that's basically what you got to do if you actually marry a woman here. You have to let this devil know. And what that does is it you know what I'm saying? Every time I hear about that, it's like that one the Dead Soldiers song, play in my mind. I'm like, dang, there goes another one, man. Why? Because he basically signed over his loins unto that woman, all right, for lack of a better term. But that's exactly what it is. All right. Because, if she breaks up with him, if she divorces him, she's going to take half of what he owns, and these days and age, you can't really get a woman to sign a prenup, man. You can't. You'll be looked at as, you'll be demonized, tremendously if you get a woman to sign a prenup. It's like for the boys crap, but a prenup, man. So that's why it says, seek not a wife. Don't, seek love and don't seek, to be attached unto a woman. Now if you're dealing with this woman and she's cool, it's cool, man. It's good. The Lord will supply you, with cool women you could deal with and they stay in their place, they stay in their lane and that's it, man. They might be saved through you, But at the end of the day, the scripture says, give not thy strength into a woman, man. All right, if you deal with these women, you got to do it from a position of stability, man. You can't have access to none of your valuables, all right, because at the end of the day, that's part of your strength. Your money, your finances, that's part of your strength. Your transportation, that's part of your strength. Access to your house and which by way which means it's access to your possessions, that's part of your strength. All right, you got to deal with these women safely, man. Okay, verse 28. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. All right, because with the point that I mentioned earlier, how did this woman have access to the vase that the dude's mom's ashes was in? Through access into his crib, man, access into his house. All right, so she went and she took the one thing that this man probably reverences more than everything, the one thing that's more valuable to this man more than everything, in the house, and she just threw that over the river. Here it is. She could have taken a video game console, shoes, whatever, man. Did that, but no, she goes and takes his mom's ashes and throws it over the river. Something that he perceives as priceless. And that's that inflated ego and pride, and Salaki for the rant, but that's just that inflated ego and pride that these women have, man. That they want to put themselves as priceless. So the fact that he, stepped out on her and now she got to go and destroy something priceless from him. That it's all from a position of pride with these women. And you have to avoid that. All right. You have to watch out for that and avoid that, man. You can't be, thinking with your rod, man. You got to be wise out here. Okay. Because the scriptures does talk about it, man. A woman can destroy a man. All right. The scripture says, neither give thy ways unto that which destroyeth kings. Okay. Which we're going to, bring out those precepts, all through the edification. All right. But it reads, but if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Okay. So that's just, what it is, man. Such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. All right. So it's not going off, if you seek a woman, man. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures is basically saying it's not recommended you to do that. But hey, if you want to, get into a relationship with a woman, All right, hey, you could do that, but as it says, it says, but if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. You could do that, but it's not recommended, spiritually speaking, because you're gonna have trouble in the flesh. You're gonna be dealing with the never-ending power struggle. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Esau always enabling Eve to encompass the man. She's gonna wanna call the shots in the relationship. She's gonna wanna do things in the relationship. She's gonna try to undermine you, do some underhanded shit. You know what I mean? And that's just gonna lead to trouble in the flesh. And then if you wanna go and deal with another woman, like the scriptures and Yahweh Shemel Shai says you could, you know what I mean? Guess what? That's going to be even more trouble in the flesh if she finds out. Because now she's liable to do something to your possessions. And if she has super demons, she might do something to you, to where, you might be in a very bad predicament, with the serpent, man. So verse 29, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Okay, and then if you do got a woman, you can't get attached to her, man, because she might not make it. She might be like Lot's wife that looked back and because they had possessions or whatnot, and she looked back and she got turned into a pillar of salt. She might be like unto Lot's wife, man, that doesn't want to, that doesn't really want to leave this place, because she's so attached to it in the world, man. She might, run out, in Jacob's trouble, she might run out on you, and guess what? You got to accept it. You're not about to chase after this chick. You got to keep it pushing, man. You know what I mean? So let's continue on. Take a little sip of this soda, man. You know what I mean? So, that's that. And then there's a jealousy, being the rage of a man. All right, because that's what this woman acted upon, man. And that's what a lot of these women have, is that jealousy. All right, let's see. Jealousy, is the rage of a man. Okay. As it reads, for jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. Now this is in context to adultery. All right, where it says, Proverbs 6:32, but whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding, and he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. All right, so you know what I'm saying? The day of vengeance, when they get judged for committing the act, which is basically to get stoned, by the community, man. Verse 35, he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. Okay, so there's nothing that's gonna be able to satisfy that rage of the man that got betrayed by his woman, except that judgment. All right, jealousy. But the key point is that jealousy is the rage of a man. It is a masculine energy for a man to be jealous. It's completely natural to the man. All right, now these women getting jealous is completely out of order. All right, because it is our right to have more than one wife. Okay, now before we go into that, all right, we're going to go into another precept, just to back up what I was saying earlier. All right, give not thy strength to a woman. All right, and that's Proverbs 39, Second 31 and 3. Okay, now we could go into the full chapter. All right, now it's just, basically, that little verse, man. It's just case in point. Proverbs 31 and 3, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings, because these women will destroy you, man. All right, they like it says, they, which destroyeth kings, those in account, in if I'm not mistaken, You know, it was in one of the books of Esdras in the Apocrypha, you know, which went into how, you know, one of these heathen kings, I forgot which king it was exactly. You know, it's been a while since I, you know, read into that account. You know, he allowed his concubine, you know, to sit on his right hand, and, you know, he allowed his concubine to slap him in front of everybody, and he didn't do anything. You know, and it was all because he had that simp spirit that wanted to please her, you know, which that's one thing too. You know, you got very beautiful women out there. You should not have that spirit that you want to please them, man. They're there to please you. You know, that's the natural order of things. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's why it says no that way to that which destroyeth kings, man. Because once you go down there, you start giving them your strength, man. You start, you know, letting them have leverage over you. You know, and ultimately you want to please them. You know, it just goes downhill from there. You know, they will take you for everything. They will completely destroy you and leave you with nothing, man. Leave you desolate. You know, as you've seen many, you know, time and time again. You know, in Babylon, man, you see how, you know, men become desolate dealing with these women. You know, they get alimony. You know, they gotta, you know, give up half of their substances, so I get the substance. You know, things of that nature, man. You know, so that's why you gotta watch out with these women, man. You know, so I'm gonna read it again. Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto women. You know, which goes into what I was saying earlier. All right, don't give them access to things that they could use as leverage over you. You know, and it's crazy because one of the things, you know, that I hear is, you know, the man giving his wife, you know, the paycheck, his credit cards, things like that, you know, sharing credit cards, you know, things of that nature, man. You know, I've seen, you know, cases where, you know, a man will let his, you know, girlfriend have access to his social media accounts, you know, all not to see who's inside who's inside their DMs and who's not, man. You know, and even if it's a two-way street where the man has access to, you know, the girl's social media account, that still should not be happening, man. All right, because us as men, we're over the women. Okay, and we have the right, because really that's the only reason why a woman would want to do that. We have the right to deal with other women, man. All right, and that's that's what we're gonna segue into, you know, and finish off the lesson with that. You know, I'm gonna look it up through the internet, as it says, if thou get another wife, KJV. Now this is in the law. All right, it's in the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and 10. Okay, wait, Salakia. Yeah, right there. All right, so Exodus chapter 21 and 10. This gives you the idea. This is basically in the law. We are allowed to have more than one wife, man. All right. And in the latter times, guess what? It's going to take place. All right. In Jacob's trouble, all right, it's going to take place, man. All right. So continuing on, Exodus 21 and 10, if he take him another wife, all right. So if he has a wife or wives, it doesn't specify. Okay. He may have one wife. He may have two wives. He may have 5 wives, 10 wives. But if he gets himself another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. You see? And if he do not these 3 unto her, then shall she go out free without money. All right? So that's, you know, what happens, man. All right, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, meaning you got to be, you know, pleasing her as well. You know, you can't be neglecting your wife. You know, you can't be, you know, starving her out because you want to, you know, feed your most favorable wife more. You know what I'm saying? And that also goes to show you that, back then, if you had more than one wife, that was a testament to your wealth. That was a status symbol, of your wealth, man. Because you could, what's it called? You could, basically, you could afford them, and you can't diminish, what it was. You can't diminish, what they need, the three needs from any one of them. Okay, so these things is done in righteousness, man. All right, it's not you just get one woman and then you get another woman and then you completely neglect the older wife, man. That's wickedness. But you get one woman and then you get another woman and you treat them the same. That's the righteous, way of doing things. All right, but we're not in the ancient times. We're under this devil, and he does not, condone that. He is not. He demonizes this. So much so that he don't put it in our women's minds that this is wickedness. It goes into the turning of things upside down. All right, and that's why we can't what's it called we can't do this, and if we do, we gotta play it smart, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real. You gotta play it smart. You can't be sloppy with this. Because then they don't band together and try to mess you up, man. So continuing on, let me see. It's another precept I wanted to get. I could just close it out, with Isaiah chapter 4:1. I just wanted to go to scriptures, dealing with polygamy. All right, because that's, the foundation of the whole lesson, really. That's the whole motive behind this demon doing what she did. All right, it's because she has a problem with a man having more than one woman. Okay, and that just is a testament to how disorderly the so-called blacks, Latinas, and Native American women are. And these so-called Latinos, man, they're the same as well, man. They are the same as well. So much so that they got themselves a nickname amongst the Latin tribes. Toxica. Toxica, being toxic. Because she coming with that jealousy. And the craziest thing is they're the biggest adulteresses in the world right now. They got that reputation. Filthy whores, man. Filthy whores. And that's coming from a brother in South Carolina I spoke to on the phone recently, man. So they got no reason to have that jealous spirit over their men. But hey, such are our enemies, man. She that is our enemy. And guess what? They're going to be trotting through like the mire in the streets, man. All right, all these wicked, demonic Israelite women, they're going to be destroyed, okay? They're not going to make it. At least they repent. All right, so book of Isaiah chapter 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. All right, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right, because it's going to be very, very, very perilous and horrifying for these women in Jacob's trouble. And the scripture says, and men shall be afraid. How much more of these women? Men is going to be getting brutalized out here, man. How much more of the women? That's why it says only, and this is the key point, that lets you know that a man's going to be dealing with multiple women. Because it says only let us be called by thy name, meaning put your name upon us. Meaning they're going to be joined unto you through marriage. All right. So that means you're going to be popping more than one woman in these latter days. All right. When this place is really, really going down in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. And these proud ass women, man, ain't nothing they could do about it, man. There's nothing they're going to do about it because they're going to be getting put to death, okay, by the plagues that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is sending upon the earth. All right. It's only going to be humble women that come correct and stay in order that's going to make it. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say, Call halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rechah HaKodash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. All right. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom. On to the next.